Assalamu alaikum, Pakistan. Over the last few days, you've had a tremendous online, all digital, 4-day program telling you what you should do to be a startup, how you should do it. You've heard some great pitches, you've heard some great panels, and you've had some really super advice. But the issue is, why won't you take it? And that's the question of today. I want you to be able to take all this great advice and move forward and do your startup, begin your new journey, and take the next step and be successful. So, I'd like to explain to you the context. And the reason why you don't take this great advice is because the context hasn't been advised to you. It didn't say, Ali, here's something, the next 10 minutes are going to make a difference to your life. Or Aisha, here's a book that have everything that you need to do to make your startup a successful. Not just what you need to do today, but what you need to do tomorrow and how you're going to grow your startup and make it a really successful group for your team and something that you can exit in the future thinking, I've done a great job. There isn't a book that says that. Try Googling it. It's just not there. So the context is a little lacking. But today, in a very short presentation, we call it a keynote because it's going to be short. I'm going to take you on a journey. And I'm going to ask you just to sit back and relax. And I'm going to take you back to when you were a baby. In that case, I've got to go back nearly 60 years. Now, on the next slide, we'll see who this baby is. There you are. Have you seen yourself? There's Ali on the left and Aisha on the right. Depends which way you're looking at it, really. But as you noticed, what these two babies are doing, they're sitting down and they're smiling. They've got very little knowledge. They're a baby. Very little experience. They're a baby. But what they do have in common on the screen is you can see they're smiling. So the context is, think back to when you were a baby. Can you walk? You had no idea what this subject was. You couldn't even spell walk. You couldn't even say walk. But what I know you had then was a can-do attitude. And what we're going to do today is to prove to you that you've still got that can-do attitude if you know where you look for it. So let's take you on that journey when you were a baby. You were sat there, as you can see, little Ali on the left. There's people walking. They're standing up on 2 legs. And he's smiling about it. So is Aisha. There's something that you want to do because you see other people walking. The context is learning how to walk. And we all did it. So what did you do? The likelihood is you clenched your fists and you got no result because that's not going to help you walk. You need to move your legs. So you clenched your fists harder and that didn't help any further. All it did was got you a bit annoyed and frustrated. And you thought, do you know what? I need to do something else because that's not working. You're using your can-do attitude. So you look around and you see what can help me because we all need help. And you shuffle along and you find a sofa or a chair and you grab hold of the sofa because it's a nice strong object and you grab hold of it because you've got very strong hands and you start to pull yourself up and you can feel your bottom just about getting off the floor and then, oh no, it's not good enough. You fall on the floor, but that's okay because you didn't hurt yourself. It's not a problem. And you do it again because you've got this can-do attitude. You want to walk. So you grab hold of the sofa again, and this time you pull yourself up a little bit further, but no, you just can't quite make it. And you have to let go and you fall on the floor again. But that's okay because you didn't hurt yourself that time either. but now you're quite tired. So you need to go to sleep. And that's what happens when you're a baby. You do things, you do a little bit of exercise, you get tired, you go to sleep. So the following day you wake up and you think, right, today I'm going to walk. Now remember, you can't spell walk, you can't think walk, but you do know that getting up on your legs is something you really want to do. So you shuffle along to that same old trusty sofa. You found a friend you can trust. It's there for you. You grab hold of the sofa. It's still there. It's your friend. And you start to pull yourself up and you're, oh no, you just can't quite make it. But you're going to give it another go because you've got that can-do attitude. So here you go again. And you grab hold of that sofa. And yes, I can feel it now. You feel this word success comes to mind, the elation, the excitement of you starting to stand up on your 2 feet. And then you sort of look around, what do I do next? Because I can't move my legs. I don't know how to move my legs. And well, you're starting to think a few things, and then you fall over again. Now, this time you may have hurt yourself because you were at a higher level. You actually managed to stand up. But it doesn't matter because the elation you felt when you started to stand up was great. Now, what you didn't know was that your mum or dad were looking in the background. And what do you think they said to you? They probably said, come on, Ali. Come on, Aisha. You can do it. Notice the words, you can do it. They would say that all the time. And then eventually you got up and you did it. So what happens the next time you start to do it? They're going to be there again. They're going to be encouraging you. Can we go back a slide, please? They're going to be encouraging you. They're going to be excited for you. They're going to see your level of commitment. They're going to see the clarity you've got and the collaboration you've got with them. They can see that you're really committed to doing it. And then you get up and you actually physically walk. And you toddle towards them and you fall over again. But that doesn't matter because you're going to get up and you're going to get to start to walk. And after a while, with more practice and more practice and more practice, you start to walk really well. And on the next slide, we'll see just exactly why that happened. Because you had a clear purpose. It was the only thing you knew in life. It was a solitary goal, as you might call it. It was the one thing you're going to be focused on, and you are going to make it work. So you did it then. So why can't you do it now? So let me explain exactly what purpose, why purpose will really drive you, will really force you to go and do things. And if you look at a chief exec, what a chief exec would say, which is the next slide, a chief exec would say, of a very large organization, we have a vision which is underpinned by a clear purpose that everyone understands. Does that really have any meaning to you? Because the answer is no, because again, I've taken you out of your context. This is just words, it's noise, it doesn't make any difference to you. So let me take you into someone that has a clear purpose. The job they do has got a clear purpose. And on the next slide, thousands of people in Pakistan, around the world, are cutting hair, hairstylists. There's male barbers and there's female hairstylists. And their purpose is not to cut hair. It's not to earn money, to live a wholesome life. But the really successful ones and the ones that make a business theirs, and some of those businesses become franchises and they grow into huge organizations, is that they have a clear purpose. Now, I've worked with lots of hairstylists and barbers around the world, and when you get into a discussion with them about their context, eventually they will say, we want to make people feel fantastic. Now, that's far better than saying, it's a job, I want to earn money, I cut people's hair. Their purpose is to make you feel fantastic from when you walk into the salon to when you leave. And obviously, when you leave, they want you to feel $1 million. And that's their whole purpose. So, in a very simple context here, if you're listening and you've got any interest in being in a hair salon, cutting people's hair, or a barber, find your purpose, find that clarity. Now, let me explain on the next slide what our purpose is. At Your Passport to Grow, we focus on young people being successful. We want you to be successful. So, how do we do that? Well, we help you develop the right attitude and soft skills to improve your employability and, more importantly, your life. If you want to become an entrepreneur, we want you to succeed. And then when you get good at this, when you get the real clarity of purpose, you can move on to the next slide. And when you see what the next slide shows us, where we have the why, the purpose, the how we do things, and the what happens, then you actually find out exactly what you're doing. So as a student, why am I here? I'm here to pass exams. Actually, that's not really a purpose. That's a goal, and it's a temporary goal. There needs to be a deeper, longer purpose. And in YP2G, we believe we want to transform the fortunes of young people by challenging the status quo. Why? Because if the status quo was working, young people would be succeeding. You would be creating the startup that you really need to do, you really want to do. How we do that is we close the gaps. And what we do is we take you on a journey. And it's a journey of exploration, which means practice, practice, practice. And if you think of the first slide, where that young little you was sat down there, you knew how to walk. You knew it was practice, practice, and more practice. You had no idea what to practice, but the point is, you did it. You found a way. You found leverage. You found collaboration in a chair or a sofa, and you walked. So now we want you to walk. From today, we want you to walk, and we're going to give you something that's going to help you. So on the next slide, we can see one of the problems in life. Who wants to change? Hands up. Everybody puts their hands up. Yes, we want change. I want things to happen. I want the world to be better. I want global warming to stop. Absolutely fantastic. The next slide says, okay, who's going to change? Who wants to change? Personally wants to change? The answer is nobody. We wait for everybody else. And then when you ask the question, who wants to lead the change? On the next slide, at the bottom, you'll find out that everybody has disappeared. But that's not good enough. And frankly, today, what I want you to be saying is, I want change, I want to change, and I'm going to lead the change specifically for me. Now, we're going to help you with that. And on the next slide, it's very, very simple. We're going to give you a short questionnaire. Follow this. It's free. We normally charge for it, but because Jump Start Pakistan is trying to make your life more successful, give you the opportunities for you to explore, we're throwing this in for free. It's here forever. It's not here forever. I've lied. Okay. It's here until the end of the 4-day digital show. It's 12 questions. Be honest with yourself. Give the automatic answer that you think of immediately, not what looks right, because you're not going to learn anything by picking what looks right. Pick the answer that is more relevant to you. You will get an automatic response online. It takes about 2 minutes, and it will show you how much of a can-do attitude you've now got. As a baby, you had 100%. Now let's see what you've got on a short questionnaire. We really do want your success. I hope this has been interesting. I hope it's been exciting. Now the opportunity is for you. So good luck, enjoy the rest of the show, and please go and do the questionnaire because it might be the best thing you do for the rest of your life. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.